That's probably a bit too close. Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. So today is the story of how my life got flipped, turned upside down. No? Okay, literally didn't even crack a smile there. No, today is actually the story of why Jam Bam, who is sparkling behind me, didn't go out eventing today. I thought I'd fill you guys in, seeing as I'm giving you a play-by-play of my kind of countdown to Badminton Grassroots, which is in just over 2 weeks. Oh my God, it's creeping up on me so quickly. But you might be able to see she's actually gleaming behind me. I had her all bathed, I had the lorry packed, I had my tack cleaned, and then I made the decision late last night not to take her to Ascot under Wychwood for what would have been her final event before the big day. So I'm going to fill you in on why I decided not to do that. I'm also going to be going over my 3 previous rounds from this season with a fine-tooth comb, seeing A, how I've improved, and B, where I'm kind of still letting the side down a little bit. Hopefully that way I'm going to be getting some match practice in without actually having gone eventing. So I'm going to go and catch Jammy now, and then I'll catch up with you later. Wow, catching puns. Let's go. Oh, you have had a little roll. I've not actually got anything for you. I'm terribly sorry. Good girl. Good girl. I've got no treats. I'm terribly sorry. Oh no, now I'm going to get rampaged coming through the gate. Careful. Well done, ladies. And here comes Preggy Teddy. She's still got a little bit of go in her, guys. Dee, don't be rotten. Ted's actually be going off to her maternity suite quite soon. Within the next 10 days, we're doing booby checks every day. Pete's favourite time of the can't say that, we'll cut that. Yeah, so she'll be going off soon, but she's definitely gotten a little bit kind of slower recently and just a bit like, I mean, I can't blame her, her tummy is huge. Anyway, Jammy, let's get you in and give you a little brush and then tell people where we are off to. It's not hand grazing, surprise, surprise. What's wrong? You're not going out, you're fine, honestly. Okay, so before I tell you guys exactly what is going on at the minute with Jam, I am going to thank the lovely sponsor of this video. You've heard about them from me before. It is the incredible Air Up. But this time, I've got a little cheeky new thing to do with it. I mean, it's not actually that cheeky and new because they did suggest it on the website. So in here you can probably see bubbles. This is sparkling water. I'm now at that mature age where I can actually drink sparkling water. For a long time it was a big no for me, but with the Air Up pods, absolute chef's kiss. So it's actually changeover day for me today. So I'm going to take off my pink grapefruit one, shove it in my pocket. That can literally go straight in the recycling, and then put on my tangerine. This little pod is going to last me 5 litres of water, and it's going to be tangerine flavoured. So if you missed the first time I spoke about Air Up, I'll quickly fill you in. They are a new innovative, I can never say that word. They're a new innovative. They're a new I can't say it. Innovative. They're a new brand, changing how we enjoy water. As I mentioned last time, I do suffer with sensitive teeth and migraines, which basically means I have to drink an awful lot of water throughout the day. Gets a little bit boring. However, with Air Up, ooh, let me just pop this out without dropping her, that is changing, more for the recycling bin. So they make these bottles and these little pods, and when you pop them on, like so, your plain ordinary tap water or sparkling water suddenly turns flavoured once you pull the little pod just to this tiny bit. No additives, no allergens, no nothing. It's just water inside of here. But through the power of scent and tricking your brain, suddenly I'm gonna have an orange flavoured drink. Oh my God, Pete, you need to try this after. That's so cool. That's like drinking a fizzy kind of orange drink and it's not ruining my teeth. Literally get in. But if tangerine isn't your vibe, you can head over to the AirUp website. You can literally scroll for so long looking at their flavors. Elderflower, I said it last time, but I'll say it again. It is so good. It's really subtle, but so delicious. But they have absolutely loads. They do cola, which genuinely tastes like you're drinking Coke. I've not tried it with fizzy water yet, but that's gonna be mind-blowing. Going to do that when I get home. So massive thank you to AirUp for kindly sponsoring this video. If you would like to purchase yourself one of these amazing bottles, you can use the discount code Elphick10 to get 10% off, and you can also follow the link which will be down below to get to the website. Go and have a little look. There's loads of different bottle colours you can get, and you can also have a play around with the little accessories here. Big thank you to AirUp for sponsoring the video, and I hope you guys give it a go. So beautifully hydrated, but we'll jump back into the subject of this video now, which is why my gorgeously clean pony was not out eventing today. So as you guys will probably know, at the beginning of this season, I meticulously planned exactly where we were going to go. It kind of went to plan, kind of didn't. Swaycliffe got cancelled, but I managed to reroute, and I was always planning to do 4 events because I felt like how the season ended last year, I really needed that kind of match practice. However, what I didn't plan for is Jam being a literal superstar. Like, I cannot fault how amazing she's been so far for the first 3 events. She's been first, I can't remember if she was second or third at the second one, and then 4th, but either way she's had 3 top 4 placings. She's been double clear at every single one and had a sub 30 at every single one. I genuinely could have never planned for that. I did not think that that was going to happen. So yesterday I was mulling this over as I was bathing her and getting her ready to go eventing again, and I looked at the course pictures and I was looking at them thinking, there's nothing on this course that I think, oh god, like that's a real tricky kind of combination, or like that'd be something that I don't think Jam's ever done or don't think we'd get over kind of thing. It just looked like a really nice course, you know, that we would go and have, touch wood, another good run at. And it got me thinking, with the lack of rain we've had and with how good Jam's been and with all of the mistakes that have been made this season all being down to me, was it actually worth risking taking Jam and going for like another, what would essentially be, well, kind of a joyride and kind of me practicing, because the only thing I really wanted to work on was speeding up my cross country. So I came to the decision late last night after spending so long online trying to work out what the ground would be like. I spent ages looking at previous videos of Jam, thinking, you know, what was there that I really needed to work on with her. And yeah, I eventually came to the decision that it probably wasn't necessary to run her. So I decided to withdraw her early hours this morning and instead take her galloping this afternoon to get that fitness in, but it not have the kind of strain of doing, you know, an entire one-day event. You want your bum itch, do you, young lady? So yeah, that is just kind of the little update. If anyone was expecting to see an eventing vlog, because I know I did lay out my season plan, you guys knew exactly where I was going to be going with her. So I thought I'd fill you in, highlight this kind of decision that we all have to make as eventers, but just as horse owners in general, of kind of weighing up between, that's a massive B, sir, weighing up between getting experience and building your confidence, but also thinking about the impact that every single run has on your horse. With the ground being a little bit hard, I just thought it is really not worth taking Jam out and having an additional run when she's been so faultless really this whole season. So that is the story of why Jammy is going galloping today as opposed to eventing. Sorry guys, you can see me here. This is homework I've been set from Nikita, massaging her glutes because they've been a bit tight, so that's why I'm spending so long here, if anyone's wondering. Anyway, I'm going to pass over to Studio Meg now, and we're going to have a little look over the 3 cross-country rounds we have done this year and pick through them. Thanks to the amazing people at Equireel, I've got 3 full rounds, so we'll see how they've gone, have a little voiceover, and then I'll take Jam Bam galloping. Alrighty, let's have a slightly poorly sounding voiceover. Apologies guys, but time to do some training without having to leave the bedroom. So off we go. This is my first round of the season at Astonley Walls. It's a B90.
I was feeling okay about the course. I didn't think it looked horrendous, but at the same time, it was my first event of the season, so I was quite nervous for it. So, not particularly fast out of the start box, but then I did actually come into my stride a lot better there. Often I waste so much time on the beginning of the course by not galloping because I'm a bit nervous. I try and place jam every stride. And you can see, to be fair there, I don't think that was horrendous. I slowed down a bit. I've got Mike Winter in the back of my head right now, but I don't think I came back too much. It all is looking fairly efficient. But interestingly, this was my fastest round of the 3. So I need to be taking note right now. I'm trying to look at where I start pulling. And it's probably about there, so that was what, 5 strides out, say? And that is probably where I want to aim. This combination is the first like proper combination on course. And look, I just get nervous and I don't ride, and thank God jam gets me out of trouble. So this is honestly a recurring theme in my cross-country riding. I just need to be more decisive, and the combinations I actually need to ride for the strides. Went for quite a long one there, but thankfully Jammy got me out. So I had that in my mind for this one, and I knew I had to ride forward and actually make the strides so we didn't get a funny little half stride, and that was a lot better. But you'll see as we go through more of these rounds, especially when I stepped up to 100, I just get, I think it's just nerves. I just get a bit worried. The fences are that much bigger, they're wider, and I just sort of recoil back a little bit. She really fought me into this one, and we get a bit of a nasty jump. Yeah, get underneath it a bit. I mean, it was lovely that Jam was so kind of forward here and so game, but it's odd that towards the end of the course, I don't know if she'd built her confidence a bit and she was kind of finding it easy, that she just then started getting a bit fighty. She behaved into that because she was like, ooh, there's water. Another thing is that we're not particularly fast through water, I don't think, although that was quite good. But when I schooled the other day, she wanted to trot through the water, and between you and me, guys, I've had a sneaky look at the preview that Horse and Hound have done of the badminton fences, and I'm going to have to canter through the water because I've got stuff to jump on the way out. That was lovely. That was probably my favourite jump on course because it just came to me within the stride. I didn't have to pull, didn't have to kick too much. And on to the last. I was actually up on time, so I was trying to slow down a bit there. Okay, I don't think that was a bad start. Let's go on to the event number 2. Okay, so here we are. Second event of the season, the beautiful off Churchbury. We're doing another B90. It was all about building confidence, and I personally find the step from B90 to B100 a really big one, and I find it quite mentally challenging. It's always the one I kind of struggle with. So yeah, another B90, and it was a beautiful course. I would say more challenging than the Aston one, and also we've got to take into account that off Churchbury is a lot hillier. So that being said, let's see how we go. I think I need to speed up a little bit coming out of the start box. You can already see I must have been more nervous for this because I think I'm already slower and I'm already holding her back sort of further out. So, you know, I'd said about the 5 strides with Aston, you can see I'm already hitting the brakes hard there, and that was what, 10 strides or something? So it's just little things like that which are really going to be eating into my time. Also, Jammy was a lot more game for this today because she'd done her first event of the season. She knew what was coming. See, brakes there. Oh my word, this is really interesting to watch. Okay, so this is the first combination. This was catching people out because you can see there's so many jumps. It was really hard for the horses to actually know what they were doing, and it was actually quite a tight turn. So I really came back, and you know, I'm coming back very early then, but that was kind of necessary because how keen Jammy was. So I won't slate myself too much for that because I knew I did have to come back for that combination. Here, I kind of let her go a bit because this is right at the bottom of the hill. So I knew that I could afford to let her gallop, but that is wasting so much time, Megan. My word, I'm having to full name myself. Okay, so we have a nice gallop up the hill. Let's see if I manage to meet this in my stride. I honestly can't remember. I'm just looking to see. Yes, he breaks it on already. This just, oh, she did a lovely job over that though. God, she melts my heart so much. I think already though, this doesn't look as smooth as Aston, and I think it is because I'm really really on the brakes. I know I've said that a lot, but that is kind of, it's the only way I can describe it. And I guess I'm having to sort of do a few more undulations and things, and like I said, the course was bigger, so I was more sort of conscious of not just tearing around like a lunatic. And I do wonder if the fact that Jam felt a little bit keener made me a bit more nervous and a bit more sort of reluctant to let her run. She did such a cool jump over this. Bing! I do love her so much. So this, I had a bit of trouble, you'll see, in the middle of the combination, and I think it's the telltale classic Meg, just let her travel through the combination and then I won't have an argument with her, whereas I land breaks because I'm worried about missing the second bit and it's all hairy. I think if I'd landed, not added the stride, which wasn't necessary, and if I'd just let her travel, A, we'd have saved time, and B, I wouldn't have upset Jam by yanking on her gob. But it's so much easier said than done, isn't it? It's very easy to watch yourself back and pick it to shreds. But when you're in the moment, you're very much survival mode, or at least I am when I'm cross country. I always want to, I set out with the ambition of going faster, and when I'm out there, I'm very much, no, just get home safe. Which I guess, you know, isn't a bad way to be. I'm just seeing a lot of setting up. That is my main critique of this round, is that I'm taking far too long setting up. And around about, I think it was around about here, I realised I was actually a bit down on my clock. It might have been once I came through the water. So it'll be interesting to see how my riding changes when the chips are down, and I know that I'm very down on my clock. Because Jemmy'd had a good dressage, she was in a good spot. Okay, so let's see. The realisation of Meg when she knows she's actually running late. Shock horror. And I'm hoping that we'll see less setting up, better strides, and then I just need to re-watch this over and over because it is doable. I can do it. Okay, that was better. That met in my stride, but it's still quite a steady canter. But, you know, I don't want to be absolutely tearing around. This combination was also catching quite a few people out because it's a sunken road, which we don't actually get that many times out. Certainly at B90 anyway. So I did slow up quite a lot there. It's kind of like a half sunken road. You actually go down a ramp, but the horses don't really know that. It looks a little bit odd and dark and trappy for the horses. So I did want to not take it for granted. Classic Jam. She's fine. She's like, yeah, come on, Meg, hurry up. Okay, so I'm really late now. Let's see if I can meet this in a gallop. Not quite. Okay, no, fine. That was alright because I did take a pull, but I didn't alter the speed too much. I think that was more taking a bit of a half halt to kind of gauge how much control I had should I need to change anything. Lovely. Okay, we got better. We got better throughout the round, which is all we can ask for, really. I think this is such a useful process. This is more for me than it is for you guys, to be honest, because it's very interesting to see how I improve and just a little confidence boost. See, I can actually do it if I try. Right, let's go on to my final round of 2022. Okay, here we go. Oxtal's BE 100, and unknowingly the last round before badminton, but that was perhaps a good thing. So I was pretty nervous about this course. I thought it was A, quite big, but B, quite technical, and it's obviously my first 100 of the season and only my second ever 100 round on Jam. So yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty nervous, and I think you can tell that as I'm coming out, because I'd say the biggest mistake I made with Oxtal's is how I walked the course, because it was very much a course that took the most time you needed was the last third of the course. This first sort of 4 fences were actually the easiest, so I should have really kicked on but the nerves crept in and Jam was feeling quite keen, and I think I wasted a lot of time at the start here. These, for example, I could have got away with angling because they're not the biggest jumps on the course. Jam would have popped them on an angle fine. But yeah, like I said, a little bit nervous and didn't think about that beforehand. First combination, we do add a stride. However, it wasn't as messy as the one we saw at Aston. I think if I can get away with adding a stride for a confidence sort of point of view like that, where it doesn't really break the rhythm, I think that's okay. I'll take the hit on the time in that scenario. That hay cart was big. I was nervy about that. This was also pretty wide too, but Jam was jumping beautifully. I think perhaps I could have done with a bit more impulsion for those wider fences though, because I was making it quite hard work for Jammy. I was nervous about that combination, but again, I'm pretty sure we added a stride there. I can't actually remember what it walked, but it wasn't messy. I don't feel like I took a hold too much of her, and that I actually really liked. I did take a pull, but it wasn't too disruptive. That's what I'm trying to achieve. This fence I was absolutely pooping my pants for. Woo! But oh, Jam was just incredible. God, I love her so much. So this is where it starts to get, actually no, sorry, after this jump it gets a bit more technical. So I should have thought about being up on my minute markers here, because I was hitting my minute markers around here. I was essentially on time. But what I failed to think about is the fact that these were all going to take a little bit more time, so I needed some sort of in the bank, as it were. I brought her back a lot for this because I don't think she's ever seen a log drop like this, so I didn't know how she's going to react. But she's so bold, I do need to trust her a little bit more. We could have afforded to waste a little bit less time there. She was a bit lucky into that. Again, I need to remember that for badminton. I also need to remember that she's a bit lucky jumping things on the way out of water. You'll see here, she had a little kind of wobble as if she thought about running out. So that's something to note. This corner was pretty beefy, and second to last, you know, they were really making sure we were concentrating right to the end. A bit of a yank there from me. And she jumped this last so beautifully. I mean, who gets their knees up that much? Oh, I love her so much. I would say that round was good, knowing how nervous I was for it. My biggest mistake was not thinking about how I walked it.
So I hope you guys enjoyed looking over my cross-country rounds from this season. Long may the successful rounds continue. It's been a really good learning process going over them, so thank you very much Equireel for supplying them. Do remember that you can also get the Air Up details down below and use the discount code Elphick10 if you want to get 10% off. Thank you very much Air Up for sponsoring this video. Anyway, Jam Bam is all groomed and ready to go galloping. I'm not going to include that in this video because next week I'm going to film a day in the life showing our kind of routines this late in the stage of preparing for badminton. So I thought I'd spare the footage today and we can go over it next week. So look out for that video. If you enjoyed this one, do give it a like, a comment, maybe hit that subscribe or hit the bell, because then you won't miss any of the videos I post. She's raring to go. She's like, come on. Right, thank you very much for watching. I live, laugh, love you, and I'll see you very soon. Bye.